Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Duke Silver. Today we're going to be playing a Bearskin. So Bearskin's ability is, at the start of each fight, every character you have that has the lowest attack or is tied for the lowest attack gets a buff. And it starts with +1/+0 and it gets +1/+1 for each level beyond level 2. So obviously level 2, 1-0, level 3, 2-1, etc, etc. So yeah, you kind of want to manage your buff and try and get it on as many things as possible. I guess it's probably less important early, but we are trying to micromanage it here. We've got 3 4-power characters, so giving them all +1/+0 is nice, especially on these ranged units. I really don't want to take this triple, so I think we're gonna have to take some other 2. But at the same time, we don't really want to play it on board, so I think we're actually just gonna take the item here because it's a way for us to spend our gold and lock this triple for next turn, as well as adding stats to our board without messing up our buff here. We do manage a tie here, even playing down a character. And yeah, we're going to take this triple. I mean, you kind of don't even want to make this triple at this point still, but I figured getting a level 2 treasure online is also pretty nice. But you want to kind of fill up your board as much as possible with Bearskin and Demeter early. I think they're very similar playstyles, so yeah, now we want to find something with 4 or 5 power to match our board. We are still going to be playing down a couple units. Playing 3 units at this stage is not great. Oh yeah, we took Wishing Fountain out of our level 2 treasures, by the way, and we are going to take a loss, which we kind of figured, being down, playing only 3 characters here, but at least it's minimum damage. We get a pair of Chameleons, which we are absolutely going to snap up. I mean, they're both 2 power, and then I did sell for a dog here because it did match the Chameleon's power. Also, one of our Chameleons did slay into a Juliet, so that's really nice. We did see a Romeo earlier that we passed on over for the fluff, so regret that a little bit, but we get it back right away here. So Romeo and Juliet on 3.2 is really, really nice. We're gonna take a roll. Basically, we just want to find more Romeos at this point. There's also a Hansel there, which does line up with the 5 power sort of bar that we have right now. And I think we're gonna take. Or we're gonna bank an item and still take one more roll and just see if we can find a Romeo. Unfortunately, we just don't find it, so I don't think we're interested in any of this. So we'll take our final roll, and hey, there is a Romeo, and I think we are gonna sell down for it. I think we can sell out of this this parrot. It's kind of nice, but we're not scaling anything with it. But taking out a support with a flying unit is valuable, but probably not quite as valuable as having a second Romeo with our Juliet Romeo package here. We do get a tie here and get a level 3 treasure from our Wishing Fountain. A little bit early for Magic Bean. Starcatcher we're not set up for, so I think it's a pretty easy storybook here. And just adding shop stats to our shops is really nice. It's just gonna give us that little bit extra stats, and on top of our hero power, it's just those little incremental stats can add up. We did take another Chameleon here, hoping for a 3rd one at some point. We do get a level 3 treasure offered to us here. We do have to sell something for it, but we do have an item to sell. I think that's what we're going to take. I think we're going to take the triple. I was also looking at the Tomorrow's Tailor. Again, just adding more shop stats to our shops and increasing those incremental stats seem like it could be reasonable if we can get them all to compound on one another. But yeah, we're going to take the treasure anyways. I didn't have time to get my other unit on the board, which maybe is for the best. Because I think that would have taken us from 2 things getting a buff to 1 or something. Yeah, I think we were both our Romeos were getting the buff, and if we'd switched that, then it would have been just the Chameleon, or maybe it was just the one Chameleon, because I think that those Romeos only got buffed once. Anyways. Well, now our Romeos are the smallest thing on the board, and I'm looking at taking a BLT here, because a nice scan beast is generally pretty nice. I mean, I don't know if we want to play it, because again, we want to get some stats onto these Romeos. We're gonna sell out of our Chameleon here, since they keep slaying and we're not going to be able to triple them, and we find a second Juliet, so. Of course, that's going to go extremely well with our Romeos and Juliets. Every subsequent Romeo and Juliet we find just makes our previous ones that much better. I don't think we're going to take any of these with the Baby Mimic. We're just going to take a skip and take this Radiant Fairy, which does have 6 power. So if we can find something else with 6 power, like maybe even another one, that would be phenomenal here. And also, the 6 power lines up with our BLT, and we do find another one as well. So yeah, our BLT and both our Radiant Fairies are going to get the Bearskin buff here, which is definitely very good for us. Getting those shop stats as well as the Bearskin buffs onto the Radiant Fairies, that allows them just to kind of give or pass those stats around, and just really make use of them. We get to triple our fairy here. I mean, we kind of wanted to scale them together a little bit, but I think the combination or the combining them is still a fantastic improvement. And we get a Mana Catalyst as our baby mimic treasure, and the amount of stats that you get from Mana Catalyst, even with only 2 mana with the baby mimic, is definitely too good to pass up. Also, we find another Romeo, so we're just it's kind of raining Romeos and Juliets here. We got a Frank's monster from one of our earlier Chameleon Slays, which doesn't really help us too much. Also, now that we have these Mana Catalyst stats, we don't really have to care about the Bearskin buff at all anymore. What we really want is basically any treasures that give us mana. And we're going to take a couple Narcs here in quick succession. I think we're just going to take Shard. The other 2 treasures don't really help us much. Fate Scissors is for a comp that has a bunch of low toughness characters generally. We win the fight very, very easily with all our Romeo and Juliet stats, and our reroll on that level 3 treasure gets paid off huge with a Seer Sphere, which is exactly the treasure that we wanted. And we're gonna burn our Shard of Excalibur. That was not a mistake. I did that on purpose to get another golden Romeo. So again, this Romeo Juliet package is really shining here, and we get another Juliet here. Like, I mean, we got at this point we're pretty pot committed to the Romeo Juliet comp. I want to say, like, usually it doesn't quite get there, but I mean, I guess we'll see depending on on how far we go with this all Romeo and Juliet's comp. Like, we can supplement it with different things with all these stats. I'm gonna try out the 2 angelic commanders. I think in hindsight this is probably a mistake to take them, but it is a level 6 pair. We do want level 6 treasures, and we are going to be getting good slays. And hey, look, there's another Juliet, so we're going to take that triple and be very happy about it. Double caster with the Seer Sphere, usually pretty good, but we're just taking Word Compass here to try and get our level 6 treasure. Maybe find some good boys. If we find like a bunch of good boys, then that could supplement the Romeo and Juliet package. But yeah, basically figuring that we're going to get a decent amount of slays with our good characters, I thought maybe the angelic commanders giving each other stats would be would go a lot harder than it does. It's not terrible. They're not small, but the fact that they only give each other their base stats is just a little less exciting than I kind of hoped it would be. I thought they would keep giving each other increased stats, like each time they gave each other stats, the next time they would give themselves the increased stats. And if that were the case, we would probably lock for that Archangel that we just passed. We of course will still lock for the Angelic Commander triple. We want a level 6 treasure, but we're gonna play the good boy and cut the Angelic Commanders for now. I think we can just do a lot better with other things that affect the board more. All right, level 6 treasure. These aren't exactly the most exciting ones. Battlesong Sword's interesting, but I think we have enough time left in the game. There's still 5 people alive. I think we can go for a Piece of Infinity and put all the stats that we put on these Romeos and Juliets are going to be kind of multiplied. So I think it's going to do some work for us here. We find another Juliet, of course. So we've got an extra Romeo and Juliet kind of waiting in the wings here. And yeah, I mean, we had to do the full Romeo Juliet board. I switched it in the cut there, and I mean, we just have to, right? We've got enough to fill our entire board with Romeos and Juliets. Like, we just have to go for it. I know it's a little bit unfortunate that this happened a little bit after, or I think I recorded this on Valentine's Day. So the fact that I wasn't able to put this video out on Valentine's Day is a little bit unfortunate, because this would have been a perfect Romeo and Juliet Valentine's Day comp. Just a young couple in love against the world, I guess. And yeah, now basically our turns are just entirely rolling for Romeo and Juliet, or we want Dying Breath runes as well. That is the other thing that we want. I don't think there's that much else that helps us. We can't cast spells to enhance our stuff. I consider the Ascendants there just to upgrade one of our, like, we can lose a mana to upgrade our Romeo or Juliet. I think that would have been fine, but I don't think I don't think it was good enough to lock anyways. I think just trying to find more would have been better. Because I mean, if we can triple another Juliet and find an Odin's Ravens, like, we can easily get out of this Piece of Infinity and get a pretty massive power spike from that. But yeah, once again, just looking for those runes, just looking for Romeo and Juliet. And at this point, they're a bit hard to find because the pool has been so diluted. Also, Romeos are like things that cost less than 4. I think are generally lower. There's a much lower chance to find them. But yeah, we'll see how we stack up against a pretty big dwarf board here. And yeah, we stack up pretty well with a couple 4K Romeos. And yeah, it just goes to show an army of dwarves is nothing compared to a young couple who are in love and probably a little bit dramatic. But yeah, anyways, this is a really fun one. This is kind of a comp that I think people did try and play when Mirror Fairy was still around, but clearly it can still get there. It doesn't have the highest ceiling without like probably really good treasures. Like, I mean, there's probably ways to really break this comp, just because, I mean, of course, when you're passing around stats that are kind of getting multiplied, like, numbers can get ridiculous. But even with this like pretty basic version, we still able to take down a lobby. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed that. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that I'm supposed to ask you to do. I would very much appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and tomorrow will be new patch content. So thank you for your patience, and see you tomorrow.